Hey everybody, Pastor Taylor here. Hope you're having an awesome Christmas week. Hope you're getting to spend some time in God's presence and some time with your family and friends. I'm just about to head out to Newfoundland and I'm so excited to do that. I also wanted to take a second to introduce you to my cat. This is Joyce. I saw Pastor Paul's cat lurking around social media, so I had to give you a chance to show you the cutest cat ever, which is my cat. But I wanted to take a few minutes today to walk you through just a couple of verses from the text that we had this past Sunday. On Sunday, we went through Matthew chapter 2, and in the midst of the Magi's journey into Bethlehem, they stop in Jerusalem and they're trying to figure out, where is this Messiah? Where is this person that we're looking for? And the teachers and, the really intelligent people who are well studied, they kind of roll into the scene and they kind of share this prophecy that comes from the Old Testament. And this prophecy reads like this. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people, Israel. That last part, out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people, Israel. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about shepherds, and in Halifax, Pastor Paul likened shepherds to pirates, which is not very high regard. In St. Margaret's Bay, we talked about how shepherds were lowly and dirty and how they were probably thieves and they were not really well regarded by the people around them. And this idea, this negativity surrounding shepherds actually goes back into the Old Testament as well. King David, before he was ever a king, was a shepherd boy because shepherding was considered a menial task often given to the youngest in the family, which is why David picked up that task. In other places in the Old Testament, like Jeremiah 23:1, it says, "Woe to the shepherds who scatter the sheep." Again, a bad warning against shepherds who weren't talking or living properly. So we have this idea that shepherds are bad, that shepherds are not a good thing, they're lowly, they're dirty, maybe kind of in the same category as tax collectors and sinners. That's, kind of words that we find in the New Testament written several times. But then there's this flip side of the idea of shepherd where God takes something that is negative and he actually applies it to himself. Of course, there are positive attributes to shepherds as well. So if God or Jesus is going to shepherd his people, then where do we see the positive side of shepherding? Of course, the most common place we find that is in Psalm 23. And just this past week or the week before in our small group, we were talking about the verse in Psalm 23 that says, "The rod and staff will comfort us." And that rod is defending us from attacks, and that staff is guiding us and leading us and allowing us to be following in the direction that Jesus is leading us. The Lord is my shepherd. And then we move on to this idea of Jesus being the shepherd. And in John chapter 10, he actually says outright, he says, "I am the good shepherd." The good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. Of course, this is the foreshadowing of Jesus' death. In verse 14 of the same chapter, he says, "I am the good shepherd" again. He says, "I know my sheep and my sheep know me." Jesus is the good shepherd. He doesn't just have the rod and the staff. The scripture tells us he's willing to even lay down his life for his sheep. Jesus redeems, in my mind, he's redeeming this term or this understanding of shepherd and saying, hey, no, I'm not just your average shepherd. I'm not just your average person looking out for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I'm willing to do what it takes to protect and to love and to care for my sheep. So we get this idea through the text, through the New Testament, through study, through the Old Testament, that being a shepherd is not really a good thing. But we're reminded in this passage that a shepherd will shepherd his people. And that shepherd is Jesus, and he has good things in store for us. He is the God that will guide us and direct us and even lay down his life for us. But he does it in a way that we wouldn't expect, because again, shepherds, as we probably talked about at both locations, are lowly. They're humble. They're not anything to behold or look at. And Jesus comes in the same way, in a very humble way. He comes in a manger. 30-some years later, he gives his life for us. He is the good shepherd. So this Christmas season, as you celebrate with family, as you take time to relax, as you do whatever your traditions or festivities are during this week or, in the coming days, I would encourage you to take some time to think about the good shepherd. This season, we talk about the shepherd that come to see Jesus, but Jesus is also himself the good shepherd leading and guiding us. So take some time as we are talking about adoration, take some time to adore him, Christ the Lord. Take some time to adore and worship the good shepherd. Find some time during your day to intentionally fix your eyes upon him. Think about him, because this is what the season is all about. So why don't you do that this Christmas season? I hope that you have a great week, and I hope that God blesses you, and I hope that you turn that around and bless and glorify God. Take care.